What is going on, everyone? Badger here. Make sure to like and sub, and let's get into this. This is definitely one of those file it under. It's definitely Schadenfreude. Get what you deserve. And it's a tale of what not to do because Kevin was one of us. He was. There was a time before he really got into, before he started directing those Supergirl episodes. That's when he started to change for sure. But there was a time when he was one of us. He had nerd cred. He had authenticity. Full disclosure, I never really cared for his movies. I recognize that Clerks and all that stuff and Jane Silent Bob is good and has its audience. I personally was a fan of his, his YouTube. There was a bunch of Comic-Con appearances where he would tell very entertaining stories. He is, of course, famous for his John Peters Superman meeting story where John Peters wanted Superman to fight a spider and he didn't want him to fly, blah, 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 blah. Kevin has fallen mightily. And one of the first big red flags that Kevin was no longer authentic was when he went after Clownfish TV for correctly reporting that Masters of the Universe, which they kept calling a He-Man show, was actually more of a Teela show, and that the majority of the time and focus was going to be on Teela. And he dragged them and insulted them, basically, created a whole thing. And then that's exactly what fucking happened with the two parts, because they released it in two parts and no one watched that second part. Yeah, it was a Teela show. It's fine. This is right in the height, basically, of the Captain Marvel, Ray Palpatine hubbub where, oh, you're just toxic and you don't like it. How dare you come to a Masters of the Universe and want He-Man? So here it pissed everyone off to the point where no one gives a shit about it now. And so now their second season is dead on arrival, and the bosses and everyone is panicking. And now they've got Kevin out here on not even an apology tour, but trying to because we know how they do it. They double down. So here we have from Bounding into Comics, 2 minutes to tell you I don't like Kevin Smith. Yeah, well, whatever. Despite the absolutely massive rejection of the movie among fans, more of a television series, Masters of the Universe Revolutions showrunner Kevin Smith remains proud of his decision to focus the preceding Revelation series on Teela instead of He-Man. As according to him, the choice is not made out of malice, but rather as a way to honor what it was that people loved about the franchise's original outing. Now, how he thinks he did that, I don't know. The ever-tearful creative offered this defense of his previous dance with the franchise while speaking with the Special Effects magazine in promotion of Revolution's upcoming January 25th premiere date. Asked if he had any regrets over the previous series relegating He-Man to second fiddle behind Teela, Smith asserted, "I know there are people that went after Revelation for putting Teela first or whatever, but we didn't." Yes, you did. Teela was as much a part of the story as she's always been as a part of the story. No, she was focused on significantly more. I thought it would be cool aspect of storytelling to remove the center of our universe for a few episodes and then bring him back. But it wasn't. It failed, and you should have never attacked the fans or Clownfish TV. He further explained to the publication, that wasn't me going, let's break this franchise by any stretch of the imagination. Wait, but you did. People who wanted to attack the show were like, they killed He-Man. But it wasn't... Fucking ads. Thank you. People that wasn't me going, let's break this franchise by any stretch of the imagination. People who wanted to attack the show were like, they killed He-Man. But it wasn't as if Mattel or Netflix were saying, here, man, go kill a franchise. No, because they trusted you, you big fucking dummy. That's why they brought us here. Naturally, yes, and naturally, you still pissed off everyone by clowning on Clownfish. Let's see how that works. Proceeding to further double down on what remains arguably one of the most notorious creative blunders of his entire career, Smith then opined, everything we did in He-Man's absence, and when we brought him back, still tied in heavily with the lore. Okay, but it didn't work then, right? You didn't execute it properly. I'm a person who has enjoyed a franchise or two in his lifetime, and naturally I enjoy it when they respect the things that have gone before, concluded the showrunner. We really went out of our way to honor what it was that people loved about Masters of the Universe. Everybody involved had skin in the game as to whether this would be a reinvention of the franchise or a spiritual continuation of the franchise. We were all in the latter camp. Bro, you didn't do either. You didn't reinvent it, and you certainly didn't continue it on a spiritual level. Yet, though Smith claims that the decision to shift the series focus away from its main character were done out of respect, for its history, lore, and fans, his actions decidedly speak otherwise. Of course they do. and his actions show a distinct pattern of storytelling by subversion. That's the Ryan Johnson tactic. For example, in addition to Tila taking center stage, Revelations not only saw Prince Adam choosing to protect Eternia by pretending to be dead while he recovered from his last battle with Skeletor, treated by his redheaded love interest as a purely selfish and emotionally abusive act, but also killed off Orko, per Smith's own words, for nothing more than shock value. Suffice to say, these don't seem like the acts of someone who genuinely cares about the franchise and its fits. And he doesn't, because Smith, unfortunately, we've now learned, is full of shit. He can say all he wants how much he liked He-Man when it's on fucking camera of him and comic book men saying he didn't care about He-Man growing up. So, revisionist history for a lying hack, unfortunately. In the interest of famous, it should be noted that there is a genuine possibility that Smith truly believes his work on... I have no doubt he believes it. Smith truly believes his work on Revelations was done out of love and respect for the franchise. No, I have no problem believing he's that fucking deluded that he thinks it's good. Oh my God, these ads. After all, as evidenced by the fact that he praised The Flash's ghoulish CGI reviving of Christopher Reeve and George Reeve's respective versions of Superman, and the family of Christopher Reeve have since come out disavowing that, that felt like an homage. It's not out of the question that after years of mindlessly cheering on every poor production decision made by numerous film studios and comic book publishers, he actually thinks that simply doing something new with the character is the utmost sign of respect, logic, and lore be damned. Yeah, well, that's when you're that disconnected. Bounding, your ads were horrible today. When you are that disconnected, of course he probably thought that that was a good homage. And just everyone that didn't like He-Man, they're just so upset. Well, guess what? We're upset that you fucked up the storyline and you didn't focus on He-Man. Let me know what you think of this in the comments. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you've done that, thank you. If you're going to do that, thank you. And we will see you on the next one.